Hey guys, it's finally Friday today and I'm happy to do another card walkthrough with you guys. We're going to do a card from start to finish and I'm just going to show you what supplies we're going to use today. I'm starting off with the Doodlebug card base. These come in all sorts of colors with cute little matching envelopes. And I'm going with this pink one, which I believe the color is called Cupcake. Okay, so the two patterns that I'm going to start with today are a pale pink stripe and a little aqua polka dot. And I'm going to start by adhering the pink paper right to the card base. I'm not going to use a ton of adhesive because I'll be using my sewing machine on this. I've actually used more than I was planning on. And then I'm just going to line the paper up to kind of the tops of the little scallops at the bottom of the card there. And then I'm just going to cut the excess off. Okay, and then I'm going to take the other pattern paper we have here, and I'm just going to add a bit of adhesive on the bottom. And I'm going to cover up most of the stripes here. I just want to leave a little strip of the stripes. I'm not really measuring or worrying about the exact size I'm leaving there. And again, I'm going to cut off the excess as well. So next, I've been playing with my silhouette machine quite a bit, and I like to cut out just sheets of random bits, and I use them all eventually. And I have this little alphabet kind of border here that you can see I've done. And when I do two pieces of pattern paper like this, like the polka dot and stripes, I don't like the bareness of just the two things there, so I'll often add a border sticker or even machine stitch over it, or just any little thing I can do to kind of break it up and just not have the harsh lines. So by adding this, it kind of eliminates those lines. And I'll probably end up sewing through it anyways, but I really like just the way that looks on there. And then it doesn't really matter that I don't have the whole alphabet, because I'll probably be covering up a good portion of this anyways. So I'm going to trim this off, and then I'm going to go take the card and run it through my sewing machine. Okay, so I finished machine stitching my card. I just did a perimeter stitch. I actually didn't stitch through the border. I changed my mind at the last minute. And why I changed my mind is the next element that I think I'm going to use on the card is this mason jar. And I've just cut it out from a sheet of pattern paper here. I'll show you, it's right there. I really love this sheet because I can imagine that I can do a ton of cards with all the little cute mason jars. And so I just cut out this one, and I thought I would tuck it underneath here. Kind of like that, and I'm not going to adhere it down because I'm not entirely sure if that's where it's going to stay. And then I thought I'd stamp out a sentiment on the empty part of the jar. Okay, so for my sentiment, I've pulled out these Technique Tuesday stamps by Ali Edwards, and I thought I'd do the thank you. I thought the kind of script of this matched the script of the silhouette die cut. So I thought it would pair quite nicely together. And then I'm going to use this tin can colored ink. This is chalk ink, it's by Prima. And these came to the two-piece store, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, and I just really love them. They give great coverage, fun colors, and they work really well. And I'm just going to try and stamp it above where the border is, and hopefully I can get that where I want it. And that's not the best coverage. Okay, I may cut out another mason jar and try again. Okay, so there is my original stamp, which I just obviously did not work, and so I tried again on another one, and I just decided that in the end I wasn't really even loving the stamp look. So I'm starting again with a third mason jar, which is why I'm so glad I bought that sheet that had all the ones, so I was able to cut out them and try out the different things till I really got something that hopefully I'm going to like the most. And I thought instead of having a big sentiment in the jar, I'd put some butterfly punches and just kind of have like the butterflies being in the jar. I still do need a sentiment, so I decided to go for something a little smaller. And I have this sticker sheet, again from Echo Park, and I thought this little You're Adorable is it matches the colors, like the pink and the little bit of teal in there, and it's small enough that it won't fill up the entire mason jar, and I can still add in some butterflies. And what I like to do when I use stickers as sentiments is I like to use adhesive foam. I like the dimension it gives, and secondly, it allows me to fiddle with placement because I leave the backings on temporarily, and that way I can just push it around on my card and get it in the position where I think I'm going to be the happiest before I adhere it. I'm going to go ahead and punch out some butterflies, and I'll use the scrap piece of paper from the card that I already have going here, and this is just a Martha Stewart butterfly punch. And I think I'm going to do a couple in pink, and then I'm going to grab my paper pads again, and I'm going to go for one in gray too. I think that'll just be a nice complement of colors. And then I'll do it again in the little polka dots. And this is presuming I can fit 3 in the little jar still. So bend them up. And maybe have one looking like it's ready to take flight out of the jar there. Okay. I'm just going to remove the middle one for now so it sticks a little bit. And that way I can still shift it if I decide I want it in a different spot. And I'm going to get adhesive on my little butterflies here. I think I might tie a little bit of twine around the top of the mason jar. I have some pink doodlebug here, doodlebug twine, and I'll do that before I adhere anything else down. Okay, so after a lot of fiddling, I finally got the twine wrapped around the top of the mason jar, and I've adhered the mason jar. And I think I'm happy where the sentiment is. It's kind of just in the middle bottom there. So now I'm going to peel it back and make sure it's really stuck down by peeling the backs off the rest of the pop dots. So just like that. And I think I'm going to add some jewels to the middle of my butterflies. I tend to do that a lot if I'm ever adding butterflies to cards. I just find they would look naked without it, so just a couple of prima jewels in the middle of them. And then I punched out a third butterfly, and I don't really think there's room for it inside of the mason jar there. So I might add it kind of down here and get another little jewel for it. Puff up the wings. And there we have it. I think I'm going to call that done on this card. I feel like there's a bit all over the place today, so I apologize for that. I thought I'd do the stamping and then decided not to in the end. And I'm really happy with this little sentiment sticker. I think this is super cute. I know a perfect little baby girl that I can send this off to. Well, her parents, that is. And I hope you enjoyed watching today, and I will catch you next time on Finally Friday. Have a great weekend.